Alright everybody, welcome to another episode of Psycho's Platters, episode 220, that's right. This one's going to be a very short video because this is going to one particular person in general, Billy Hurst. You know what? Congrats on getting the 500 subs. I'm close. I'm almost there. But needless to say, I remember that I said, Billy's videos are interesting. I like them. And he had himself an interesting contest. Pick 4 albums from Billy's birth year of 1974 and pick 4 records from 1967, which is my birth year. Yes, I'm old. And maybe do a brief explanation of things, which is what I'm going to do right now. So let's get out of the way here the 74 stuff, Billy. This is some of the stuff in my collection that I like. No particular order in general here, but I had to throw this in considering that, well, their second bass player Craig McGregor passed away just this last week. Foghat's Rock and Roll Outlaws from 1974. Here's the front, here's the back. Pretty much an essence of excess sometimes, right? Foghat on Bearsville, of course. One of my favorite guilty pleasure 70s bands. Yes, I like Slow Ride. Yes, I like Take Me to the River. I like their version better. Off of this particular album, though, I do like 8 Days on the Road and Chateau Lafitte 59 Boogie. That was always a good one, too. They play it once in a while. But this one here, like I said, being that it's 1974, Craig McGregor's not on this yet. It's the original bass player Tone Stevens. That's right, Tone Stevens, who would carry on until before the Fool for the City album in 76, when then Craig McGregor would come in there and do that. So, album number 1, Rock and Roll Outlaws from Foghat. Okay, second album. I couldn't remember if, I know Nesmith put something out, so I was going to do a Monkey connection, but instead I'm going to end up doing a Beatle connection. I've got John Lennon's Walls and Bridges. I always liked this album. Here's the front, here's the back. I'm going to open this up briefly here for you, because I've seen it in the past where these covers have gotten abused. It was a very unusual cover on Apple Records, where you could go and sort of, change this around a little bit. You have him going like that, but that's right, it's a top loader. Stupid me. Oh, good. I haven't looked at this in so long. I got the booklet too. Nice. I've got the booklet too. See, only for it's the lyric booklet. Okay, duh. But I like it though. It says John W. Lennon. That's the cover there. Meanie. February 18th, 1952. He did that. Here's. I think it's one of his teachers. I'm not sure, but you know what? Like I said, this album here, I got a kick out of it. God, I do. I remember hearing Whatever Gets You Through the Night, brand new at 7 years old. Always got a kick out of that. This is your inner sleeve. Ah, crap. Oh shit. Hang on a minute. As you could tell, I wasn't exactly quite prepared for this, Billy, but you'll just have to forgive me anyway. It's been a very long week. Not bad, just very long. And of course, on the original Apple, in nice minty shape. That's right. This album is in nice minty shape. But yeah, when I heard Wherever Gets You Through the Night, that one was probably the one that turned me on to this. But there is other stuff here too. Of course, Number 9 Dream. Yeah, I can't sing it. I like Bless You. I like that one too. Scared's another one. Ya Ya. Julian Lennon on drums. Yes, Julian Lennon, 10 years old, on drums for Ya Ya off of this album here. Nobody Loves You When You're Down and Out, which, if I remember correctly, I thought he originally did that as a demo for Ringo, but I'm not sure. But yes, so Walls and Bridges from John Lennon from 1974. I'll put that away later. Get in there. Another one from the good old year of 74. Grand Funk Railroad. All the girls in the world beware. I know, kind of a strange choice. I actually like some of the stuff off of here. This is on Capitol Records. This is about, you know, there's still custom labels here. They're still in their prime period, just about getting ready to get out. I kind of always like the silly cartoonish type cover with this. I don't know if it was just that they were trying to get more into the kid market on this. I kind of can tell here that this is a God, somebody from Marvel, I think, drew this. But for the life of me, I didn't get to research today, kids. But what I do happen to like is the inner sleeve that says Grand Funk 1975 Tour. I always get a kick on finding sleeves that actually have that kind of stuff, just to see, you know, hey, where did they go in Chicago and stuff like that. Some Kind of Wonderful was the big hit off of this back in '74. But also here, Bad Time. Bad Time is like my favorite off of here, seriously. But yeah, so all the girls in the world beware. They would end up going from, they would do, after this album, it was Caught in the, was it called Caught in the Act Live? Or am I know Styx did an album called that. I think they did a live album in '75, and then they did Born to Die in late '75, early '76, and then they would finish off in '76 with MCA as well before they break up for 5 years. And then lastly, this is one, I'm beginning to get a lot better appreciation for this band. Spooky Tooth's The Mirror. I managed to snag a bunch of different Spooky Tooth. I've also got, what is it? You Broke My Heart So I Busted Your Jaw. I found that one too, along with Witness. Very clean copies too, by the way. This is the front. This is the back. Now, let's see here if I could show you. You've got, that's Mick Jones. That would end up in Foreigner. Yes. He kind of started here. You had not only Mick Jones, but of course you had Gary Wright right next to him there, and Mike Patto, who we've brought up Mike Patto before, back when he had his band Patto in the early '70s on Vertigo, which unfortunately about maybe 5 years after this album came out, Patto would die of cancer. But you know what? I mean, it's Mick Jones into this ended up being a nice element. And I like the Gary Wright stuff. I really, really do. So that is my last one for '74, The Mirror from Spooky Tooth. So, what about my 1967 stuff, you ask me? Since that is my birth year. In no particular order. Ah, hell, who am I kidding? We'll go this one first. Love from Love. This is an original press in mono. Let me see if I can show you real quick. Nice, beautiful. Minty. Nice and minty. I picked this up a very long time ago. It was from the collection, Allen's collection. I picked this up. Very gorgeous album. You know, this album has grown on me. I also noticed that if you've never heard Love, at least on this album, they sound sometimes a little birdsy, if you understand where I'm going on this. At least that's just my opinion of the whole mess. But here's the front, here's the back. Johnny Eccles. Johnny Eccles, that's Johnny Eccles. He still keeps love alive. He's the only one left, I'm told. Everyone else has passed on. True story on this. Albert Lee. Okay, Albert Lee. I wrote him. I wrote him when he was in prison in California. I did. I actually wanted to have an interview with him. via letter. I don't know if he ever got it or not, but I found out where he was at back then. So that was in the 90s, if I remember correctly. He was incarcerated briefly. So love's love. This one here. You know I couldn't go past it without putting a Monkees album if I can get away with it. I've shown you guys Pisces Aquarius, which is actually my most favorite album from the Monkees. But this one here is near and dear to my heart, because this actually, this wasn't the first Monkees album I got. More of the Monkees was. But Headquarters means a lot to me. This one here, of course, being a stereo, I do have a mono mix. And this is the this is the stereo version on this, but on Cold Gems, of course. Actually, in not too bad shape on this one. I'd say VG Plus picks up for a quarter here down here. I will never pass up Monkees albums, even if I've already got them already, just to give them to other people or just to have backup copies. But this is the very first Monkees album where they play everything. Because those first two albums, they either just sing, or Mike or Peter would have occasional third guitar, because the Wrecking Crew is all over those two. Fine musicians, the Wrecking Crew are. But for them, this was their independence. This was the band's independence. #1 this went to. #1 for a week. Then what happened? Sgt. Pepper came out. Knocked them off the charts for 1 week. Oh boy. Well, what are you going to say? But I literally like every song on here, from You Told Me all the way to the end of Randy Scout's skit in England called Alternate Title. So Monkees Headquarters, could not pet that and ignore that for sure. This next one, I know some of you people are going to go, oh no, is he really going to show this? But other people, they'll go off and go, oh wow. Rolling Stones' Satanic Majesties Request with the original lenticular album cover. No kids, it's not a mono. I'm looking for a mono. This is stereo. I actually have 2 stereo copies. And if I remember correctly, this one here is the better of the 2. You know, I had this album many, many years ago. And for whatever reason, I went back to it. When I ended up getting it about 2-3 years back, I got it for a steal, almost. And it's grown on me. It really has grown on me. In my opinion, and it appears some other critics' opinions also, Between the Buttons, excellent Stones album. Then this comes out. This is their psychedelic answer to Sgt. Pepper. There's some really cool tunes on here. I like 2000 Man. I really do. She's a Rainbow, of course. 2000 Light Years from Home also. Citadel's kind of cool. Lantern with Bill Wyman and sorts. But like I said, this is your jump here. This was, you know, the Stones considered it a failure. I don't think it was as bad as a failure as they think it was. There is some really choice cuts on here. And like I said, it grows on you. It really does. But it gives that, it's almost like they needed to get this album out of their system before they went to Beggar's Banquet, which I showed in a previous video. I mean, you had Beggar's Banquet, Sticky Fingers, Exile. They had to get this out of the system before they started going into the rest, honestly. So, Satanic Majesties Request, Red Label. I think it's Red Label. No, Red Label's mono. Blue Label for stereo. And lastly, I've already done Sgt. Pepper to death. So this time, I wanted to tell you Magical Mystery Tour, but not the album. I do have an Apple Stereo and a Capitol Stereo. I could have sworn I had a mono somewhere, and I still may have it. But this time, I thought I'd throw you a loop. I got the double EP. Yes, I do. With the nice, I'll show you in a second here, but the 24-page booklet. Yes, look at that. That is sweet. Very, very sweet. You want to see one of the records? Sure, I'll show you one of the records. In its own Parlophone sleeve, of course. Original, black label, It does have some scuffs on it, I'm not going to lie, it's not perfect. Maybe some good cleaning. But what I do want to show, and I don't think I have to apologize, you're probably not going to see this really well. I'll try to put it up close. As you can see, though, this actually is an original Parlophone press of this EP. Now, why I'm saying this, let me explain. Late 1967, this comes out. Okay? Magical Mystery comes out there. I remember reading, and for the life of me, I cannot remember if it was Record Collector or some other magazine, English-wise. They said that you do have if you have an original press, aka from the time it was released up to around March of 1969, okay, it will say this on the center hole. Sold in UK, subject to resale price conditions, see price lists. That is exactly what this says on here. So what I'm saying is that if this isn't, quote, an original, hey, rolled off the presses the very first day, it is definitely at least a first press, as in, guess what? Up until March of '69, that was what it came out, and then they changed it as well. So I know, I kind of blah-blahed a little bit too much, didn't I? But Billy, once again, congratulations on the 500 subs. I'm glad you made it to that point. And I think it's awesome. You're a sports photographer and everything. I kind of envy you. I love sports. I do. I'm from Chicago area. I was a huge Cubs fan. I do like the Sox. They say you can't like them both. Oh, I do. I just don't like the Sox as much. And, of course, I like the Bears, the Bulls, the Blackhawks, and all that other stuff, too. So, Billy, listen, thanks for doing this contest, and I hope you enjoy the video. And you know what? I hope other people enjoy watching this, too, because I had fun doing it, too. So, you know what? Take care. God bless. Rock on, and I'll see you next time, guys.